Hello there. Welcome to the Made for More group. I'm Emily Grabatin, and I wanted to share a couple thoughts with you that were percolating. So I don't know if you're surrounded by this, but I find that there is so much talk about confidence. You need to be confident to do this. Fake it till you make it, maybe approach, act that you're confident even if you're not, or there's power stances to be confident, to trigger biochemical triggers to trigger you into being confident. There's all these talk about confidence, and I feel, and I watch some of you heart-centered, made for more dreamers, and you're so hard on yourself, and you are doing your darndest to be confident, but there's still that piece of you that just knows really deep inside you're not really confident, and you're kind of scared someone's going to find out, but it shows, and we kind of know that too, right? And so when we're feeling lack of confidence, we can either, I've been in both spaces, we either hide behind our computer, we hide in the busy tasks, we maybe don't show up in our dream for a while, or we don't really know how to talk about it. Or there's this other time where I would try to overcompensate. So I would try to be larger than life, and I would try to come across as confident, but I didn't really get much engagement on that, or I didn't really get much interaction, and I just felt fake, and I didn't feel like me, I didn't feel authentic, and I think other people saw through that too. They could tell it wasn't totally genuine. In fact, I felt aggressive, and I'm not an aggressive person. So this percolates in my mind, and the last year I have totally become way more comfortable with just being myself and who I am, and messing up and making that part of the journey and inviting others with it. But over the last weekend, I heard, and it was from a couple different sources, so sometimes I feel like that's God showing me something. When I hear something in a span of time from a few different sources, and it just starts percolating my thoughts. So this is me sharing what I've been thinking about, and I hope it helps you in your confidence and showing up, because you are courageous and you are confident. But what's the enemy of confidence? What's the enemy of authenticity? It's comparison. We compare ourselves to where we should be, where we think we should be, where others are. We compare the beginning of our journey to the middle, or the, climax of someone else's journey, and we're just hard on ourselves. So what could be the key? What could be your trick? So say you're working on your branding and you need to figure out, who am I? What is my message? What do I put on my website? What does my branding look like? How do I show up to the world? Maybe you're trying to figure out, what I've got to pursue my dream, my made for more dream. How do I show up with passion in my life when I have my kids running around and they're part of my purpose too? How do I deal with that? That's my reality. I have a daughter. It's really important for me to hang out with her, for her to spend time with us this summer before the fall gets crazy. And figuring out, okay, how do I balance all that is a challenge. And I'm hearing from some of you, that is a real challenge. What do I do with my kids when this is dream and they need my attention? What rhythms do I set up? And how do I just keep doing this when there's so much to learn and so much to discover, and I'm hungry to learn, right? And so here's one small step that can help you today. Are you ready? It's certainty. And I was like, when I heard this, and I heard this from a few people where they talked about certainty, they weren't talking about confidence. And I'm like, what? What is this? Aren't they the same thing? And when you look them up, they are very similar. Here's how I see the difference between them. Confidence is, we attribute it to a state. The definition actually says it's the state of feeling certain about something. It's also the feeling behind feeling certain, of fully putting your trust in something or yourself. Full trust, right? So how often are we pretending that we have put our trust into something? but our whole body and brain says, liar, you don't really trust it, right? And we can give ourselves away. So how do we get there? We want to be confident. I believe you are totally capable of being confident. And I think there are 2 steps to this. If we need to break it down into micro steps so that you can make your way to confidence in your branding, in your message, in who you are showing up, so that you are not someone else, you are you with the message that you have been given, and that you are the mom, that you are the leader, that you are the storyteller, that you are the creative that you've been given. And so the first one is certainty. And so if you break that down, don't think big, don't think confidence, that you gotta be hoorah, that you just gotta, put yourself out there when maybe you're an introvert and you're like, it freaks you out to be in front of a camera or to be in front of a group of people or to make a presentation in front of a board. And so what are the pieces that you are certain about yourself, right? So the first question would be, who are you? What are you certain about who you are? If you had to take all the pressure away, all of the comparison, all of the rules of you should do it this way or that way, or learn Instagram, or learn this way, or learn this leadership style, who are you? When do you shine the most? If I were to catch you just in a corner cafe and ask just the right question and you lit up and glowed and started spilling out of you, what would that question, what would that topic be? What would that setting be? Who are you? That is a piece of certainty for you. What if it's the proof that you need to know? You're trying to make this confidence to, you're making a course, or you're selling a product, or you're making a program and you need people to show up. How do you communicate this certainty when you're maybe at the beginning of your journey? Maybe you don't have lots of history behind you, but you have something. You've helped someone that way before. You have this certainty, and that's what's driving you. So what is that certainty? How have you helped someone? What have people said about you? What is that one person that said, oh, you were a lifesaver? This is how you helped me. Thank you so much. Who is that person? That is your certainty. What can you build just around that piece? Don't think bigger. Just bring it back to the piece, the part that you can be absolutely certain to, and flesh that out. Start with that. Who are you serving? Right? That's tied in with who are you meant to serve? What are you absolutely certain about them? Yep, there's probably lots you aren't. And there's big questionnaires and long questionnaires that have a whole bunch of questions that maybe you've filled them out like I have, and maybe you filled out like 10 different ones and you've got all the answers, but when it came down to it, who you're meant to serve, you more have a feeling of who they are than maybe the descriptions. What is that piece that you absolutely know about what they're feeling, what their pain is, what they're struggling with, what their mind blocks are, what their tastes are? If you could go up to them and hit it off in a conversation about, maybe it's toddlers, maybe it's scrapbooking, maybe it is blogging, whatever it is, what is that one thing you can be certain about who you're meant to serve? And your approach, your message, your style. What is that one lesson that you've learned that it's what you find yourself repeating over and over? It's the tagline to your life. It's the thing that's quote. If someone said, hey, what would she say about this right now? And they would rattle off just something that you would say. What is something that you always say? And what is the story behind why you say that all the time? That is your little bit of certainty. What can you build? Hey, Cindy, how are you? What are you up to today? This is so fun. And I gotta hop off and get my daughter soon. So what is that certainty around your message, that theme, that thing that you always say? So those are 3 areas of certainty that you can dig into. Who are you? What do you absolutely know about yourself that when you're all alone I get you in that coffee shop, what is that thing that you're totally certain about that I would see you light up and that is who you are. Don't hide that. Build your certainty around that part. And who are you meant to serve? What do you absolutely know about that person, and how do you connect with them where that just lights up and you start going blah, 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 you start talking a mile a minute in just that 1 second, because we hit that sweet spot. And your message, what is that tagline that you just say over and over that you just would wish that someone would get, and you want to save them from making that mistake? What is that thing that you always say? Those are some of your pieces of certainty, and you can build your confidence around those little micro pieces of certainty. And then the next step, I said there are 2 things. The first thing is towards confidence, is certainty. The next thing is courage, right? Courage means action in spite of fear. So whatever is coded around those moments of certainty, there's going to take action, because your confidence is going to come with experience behind you, right? That's where that full trust is. Okay, I've done this before, I've been here. So your courage needs to springboard off of that certainty so that you float with it. And then as you keep working with it and trying it, and you try something else, and you build more experience, your confidence comes with it. So that is my message for you. I would love to know if this helped, and let me know one piece of certainty that you know without a doubt. Just can be micro bit that you know about yourself, but you know, this is what I know for sure, and one of those 3 things. I would love to know. If you're watching this, hit replay. Cindy, I want to come back on you. I've got to go wake up my daughter and go pick up someone from school, but I want to hear what you have to say. Watch the replay, hear your thoughts, and if you're watching the replay, hit replay and let me know your certainty and what your act of courage is going to be that you need to do with that today. Have a great day. See you later.